Hi guys, today we will study about non-competitive inhibition. In the previous video we have studied about the competitive inhibition. In this video we will study about non-competitive inhibition. In non-competitive inhibition, basically the inhibitor and the substrate binds at different sites on the enzyme. So what that means is that, for example, if we take this as the enzyme and this as the substrate. So basically, in non-competitive inhibition, what occurs is that the inhibitor molecule will not attach to the active site of the enzyme, but it will attach to the other site of the enzyme which is present on the enzyme itself. So this inhibitor will basically get bind to this other site of the enzyme and will inhibit the enzymatic activity in this way. So it is not competing with the substrate in this case as it was in the case of the competitive inhibition. So the inhibitor is not competing with the substrate, but it is still inhibiting the activity of the enzyme. So in this way the inhibitor works in the non-competitive inhibition. And now when we look at the Vmax and Km value in the non-competitive inhibition, then we have to look at the rate of reaction versus substrate concentration graph. So basically in the first reaction where no inhibitor is present is given by this, and the dotted line shows the presence of non-competitive inhibitor. When we look at both the reactions where where there is no inhibitor present and when a non-competitive inhibitor is present, so when we look at both these reactions we can simply conclude that the Vmax value in the non-competitive inhibitor case gets reduced. So we can say that when non-competitive inhibitor is present, then the Vmax value will be decreased. And when we look at the Km value, what will be the Km value? And we also know that the Km value gives us the concentration of the substrate at which the maximum velocity of the enzymatic reaction becomes half. So basically we can also say that Km is equal to Vmax by 2. So whenever the Vmax value, half of the Vmax value is achieved, then at that concentration of the substrate, the Km value is obtained. And as we know that the non-competitive inhibitor does not interfere with the substrate binding, so that's why the Km value of the of this both of these reaction will not change. So basically with the non-competitive inhibitor as well, the Km value will not change. So in this way, using these two metrics, Vmax value and Km value, we can understand the non-competitive inhibition. If you have any doubts, you can ask them in the comment section.